On the 23rd of July, Jagex released another Varlamore expansion. This update brings us new quests, bosses, slayer monsters, and even a new fletching minigame. There was so much content I wanted to take my time and review it properly. Welcome to my first week in Varlamore Part 3, The Final Dawn. A lot of the new content takes place in the Totems rainforest. This lush green Aztec environment is home to two new towns, Talteclan and Castori, as well as temple ruins and cave systems. They also added in the woodland area of Auburn, which is where our fletching minigame takes place. Jagex have made greater use of Ent characters here, which the Lord of the Rings fan in me absolutely loves. We've been treated to 3 new quests in this update: Shadows of Custodia, Scrambled, and the main event, The Final Dawn. Shadows of Custodia introduces a horror element into Old School, where we look into the mysterious disappearance of Auburn residents. This quest was very reminiscent of the Porcine of Interest quest. Unlike the Sour Hog, you'll actually head back into the caves as the Custodian Stalkers drop broken antlers, which are used for fletching atlatl darts, and the Antler Guard, which is a new offensive offhand. It's slightly worse than the Dragon Defender for melee stats, sitting between an Adamant and Rune Defender, but it does have positive ranged and magic bonuses, making it a good pick for tri-breeding. It also has +5 prayer bonus. It's not all good news though, as the trade-off is reduced defensive stats across the board. If you're in a tri-breed situation where you can mitigate all damage with prayers, this is the offhand to use. Scrambled was a fun little side quest. It has some wonderful world building elements, introducing us to some local characters and allowing us to explore the fauna and flora of the Totems rainforest. The sense of accomplishment I felt after putting that egg back together was immeasurable. The Final Dawn feels like the finale for the Twilight Emissaries questline, but knowing Jagex, they might well be cooking up a sequel as we speak. This quest truly earned its master rating, but I would agree it's not quite at Grandmaster level. The demi-bosses are challenging but manageable. I especially enjoyed the flame special attack mechanics from Ennius Tullas and Auga Metzli. The puzzles are fun little brain teasers without being overwhelming to the point of requiring a guide. Sometimes you just need to take a step back and approach the question from a few different angles. Completing this quest rewards you with the Arcan Blade, a new one-handed weapon comparable to the Dragon Scimitar. It has 2 less strength bonus, but with higher slash and stab bonuses, as well as a new special attack. This new spec uses 30% of your spec bar for a 50% increase in damage and accuracy, as well as applying a burn effect similar to the Eclipse Atlatl. If lost, the blade can be reclaimed from Prince Itzler at the Sunrise Palace for only 75k. Completing the Final Dawn also unlocks the Doom of Mokal, a new delve boss who we'll get into later in the video. This update wasn't insanely boss heavy, which I'm actually grateful for since we've been blessed with boss releases recently. It did, however, include the Gemstone Crab, which is a boss but not in the usual format. This boss doesn't have a drop table, and it doesn't technically even have a health bar. It's actually a 10-minute timer, allowing you to AFK combat train as a collective, with no risk of someone crashing you and your gains. The trade-off is slightly reduced XP rates. If you're one of the top 16 people who dealt the highest damage to the crab, you get an opportunity to mine its remains at the end for a gemstone, but this is not required and you can immediately follow it through the caves to the crab's next location. Hilariously, 3 hardcore Iron Men have already fallen to the crab. Vale Totems is the new fletching minigame. Introduced by a mini-quest, you follow a path around Auburn, building totems to assist the Ents with rebuilding the area after it was ravaged by war. I personally enjoyed the lore dump, but if you're a dedicated spacebar masher, then you'll just be interested to know that the minigame involves building totems with logs of the likeness of the 3 spirit animals that are hanging out nearby. You then decorate that totem with 4 fletched items. The Ents periodically trek around the map and bless these totems, leaving offerings as rewards for doing so. The higher the level the log, the longer the totem sticks around for and the more rewards you get. This minigame also includes dry protection, rewarding hard work when RNG lets you down. You can collect unique drops while searching the offerings, but if you find yourself to be incredibly unlucky, you will also earn research points per search. When playing this minigame, don't forget your log basket like I did. Finally, we reach the Doom. The Doom of Mokal is the new Delve boss, which focuses on increased layers of difficulty as you follow this burrowing insect demon further into the ground. Each level unlocks a new possible unique drop, with new best in slot boots and a new high level mage weapon available, the Eye of Ayak. The ammunition for this staff are consumable demon tears, also dropped by the Doom, which means farming this boss should stay reasonably profitable. The learning curve on this boss is steep. Each new level delivers new and creative ways to send you back to Lumbridge. Make sure to set up the teleporters near the lift to save time running back. This boss gives a solid use case for the previously slept on Scorching Bow, giving you increased damage and accuracy. DPS is king at the Doom, as clearing the waves faster will mean less time spent dealing with more punishing mechanics. Bring your ZCB, Twisted Bow and Elite Void if you have them, and good luck, you'll need it. That just about wraps it up for Varlamore Part 3. Jagex have absolutely smashed it out of the park with this one. Thanks again to all the devs that have clearly poured a lot of love into this. Leave a comment below with your favourite parts of the new content.